Hey, hi friends. So, welcome to this post match analysis video of Djokovic versus Nadal, the quarterfinal at the French Open. What an amazing match once again, and only a few points decided the victor in the end. It looked like it could go to a fifth set, but Nadal, as we all know, he always fights till the end. He was able to come back in the fourth set. He was 2-5 down, and then he played a flawless tiebreak to win the match in the end. So, what does it mean for Nadal? What were the statistics of the match? What were the key factors? We'll deep dive into all of those, and I'll try to keep it simple. So, let's first start with the statistics. So I've put the key math statistics here. If we see the number of aces, almost same, 5 and 3, doesn't make much difference. But for Nadal, he used those aces at very, very important moments in the match. When we see the first serve percentage, it's 68 and 71. We always expect that because Nadal is always good in a healthy first serve percentage, even though his serve is not as effective as Djokovic or Federer, but he always keeps the percentage high so that he could start with aggression on his points. When we see the win percent on the second serve, it clearly states that 60% of the points won were for Nadal, and it clearly means that on the longer rallies and once the point started on the second serve, Nadal was really able to capitalize and construct the point really well because of his aggressive mindset and his aggressive approach, and that is why he was mostly able to win the points. And that is a big difference. If you see, 42 and 60 is a big difference. Any player who is able to win 60% of points on his second serve, I think he clearly should win the match. That is what I feel. If you see the winners and unforced errors, Nadal surprisingly hit more winners than Djokovic, 57, and made less unforced errors. So a positive ratio between winners and unforced errors, 57 to 43, whereas for Djokovic it was a negative one, 48 to 53. I really expected Djokovic to change the strategy this time around, having seen what happened last to last year, where it was quite a similar performance from Nadal. Although this time Djokovic was able to make a healthy comeback, he almost was able to win the match. But I still feel that Djokovic was lacking some of the implementation in the strategy, and I feel that Djokovic should have played more aggressive. If we see the breakpoint conversion again, both the players really played well and really tried to save all the breakpoints. So whenever we see a match between Djokovic and Nadal, there are multiple breakpoints given, but still each player is able to save most of them, and that is what happened here. So Nadal was able to create 17 breakpoint opportunities, but saved seven of them, and Djokovic was able to create 12 and was able to convert only four of them. Okay, so I think the point here is that most of the breakpoints of these players are actually saved, and they are saved with actual winners. It's not like when, at least for Nadal, whenever he gets a breakpoint, he goes for a winner. He goes for big shots. He's not afraid. He doesn't wait for the opponent to miss, and that is a very important factor and important strategy. All right. So two main reasons for the victory. Now Djokovic lost this match. So I think the key reason was a tentative start to the match and really passive ground strokes. And I am really disappointed how Djokovic played this match from the beginning. Even though he made a terrific comeback in the second set, that was quite unexpected. After going love three down in the second set, the way he managed to play aggressively, change his tactic, go for more shots, hit closer to the lines, come to the net, he tried a lot of things and it worked out. And Nadal was under pressure after the second set. And I still think that is why I feel tentative start also to the match and also to the third set. After switching the momentum in the second set, in the third set, I think Djokovic lost his focus. And I mean, we all knew that Nadal is not going to bog down. He's lost the second set, Nadal always comes out aggressive in the third set. So Djokovic had to anticipate that and maybe had to keep his focus levels on, and he had to be dialed in from the third set on from the start, but that didn't happen. Okay. And when I say tentative start, now a lot of commentators were saying that Nadal came out all guns blazing. He was playing really good from the start. I don't feel that way because when I saw the first three or four games, both the players were playing really tentative. They were not playing their best tennis. They were missing a lot of shots. They were not going for too many winners. But Djokovic was really passive, and that is why I feel that either he should have chosen to receive the serve, because when you win the toss and if you're choosing to serve, that clearly, that has to show that you have confidence and you will be the player, you want to be the player who wants to be ahead in the game. And Djokovic tried to do that, but he was, I mean, tried to do that by winning the toss and choosing the right result, the right decision to serve, but it did not reflect in his game. Even if you see the first game, although Djokovic won the toss and he elected to serve first, but if you see the game, he was just hitting the ball to the middle of the court, trying to settle in. But it doesn't work against Nadal, right? Because from first point or second point, Nadal is not afraid to go for his shots, even if he misses. And that's what happened when he saw that Djokovic is playing tentatively. He's not going for winners. He's facing issues uh, to keep the ball in the court. And Djokovic was not moving well in the first 3 or 4 games. Nadal understood that. That is why I feel that he has great presence of mind and those anticipatory skills, that he understands what the opponent is going through or how the opponent is feeling, and then he takes that opportunity. So that is where I think Nadal pounced. And once he gets a lead, it's very difficult for anyone to stop Nadal. That is why I feel that in the second set, what Djokovic did was magical. Nobody would have expected Nadal to lose that set after being double break up and the way the first set had unfolded. So full credit to Djokovic to come back in the second set. But then I think overall, if you look at the match, lack of aggression on big points, lot of breakpoint opportunities given to Djokovic. Even in the first set, when he lost the first game, in the second set it was 15-40. There were two opportunities given to him, but he was not aggressive enough. He was not going for winners. He was just waiting for Nadal to miss, and that didn't happen. Whenever he went for winners, whenever he went with a purpose, he was actually able to win the point. So that just shows that maybe the problem is in the mindset when playing against Nadal on big points. Is that for Djokovic? Federer understood this thing, that when he's playing against Nadal and he has opportunities, he has to be aggressive, he has to go for the winners. Otherwise, Nadal will always win those points. And that is why, off late, we have seen that Federer has had some success against Nadal, because he was not relying or not waiting for Nadal to miss. He was going for his winners. That is what the strategy Djokovic should have. But maybe he has more confidence in his defensive abilities, or that comes naturally to him. But he should understand that against Nadal, most of the times that would not work, because Nadal is too good in that category to defend points well. He doesn't make much unforced errors on big points, right? And for Nadal, as I already mentioned, perfect strategic approach. We all said, all the commentators said that the conditions might be quicker in the evening, the top spin might be less, and so Nadal has to play really aggressively. He has to fi- punish any short balls and try to come up to the net. That is exactly what he did, and that is why I think he was able to win the match, because he applied that strategy perfectly, executed it perfectly. And even when he lost the second set and it looked like Djokovic was completely back into the match, Nadal didn't stop, or Nadal didn't go back to his defensive approach. He was still attacking on any short balls that Djokovic gave, and he was trying to construct the point, trying to finish the points. And most of the times on big points, he was able to produce the winner. I think that resulted from the mindset that he had for this match. Now, we saw this shot time and time again yesterday, where Djokovic, whenever he went cross court with the backhand, even if it was a little bit short, Nadal was quick to pounce and go for the winner. Whereas for Djokovic, I thought that the key point for Djokovic was the angled crosscourt forehand, and he didn't use that shot actually in the first set. He started using that late in the second set, and it did pay off dividends, and that is why he was able to win. But I still think that he was not hitting as close to the lines or as angled shots as he would have liked. It clearly appeared to me that he was playing more defensive. He was hitting into the middle of the court, not going for big shots, trying to play safe tennis. But when he understood that that is not working, he started playing big and he was rewarded. But then I think it was too late, because he had already lost the first set. The first set for me was very crucial, because I thought Djokovic came into the match with a lot of good form, lot of good matches under the belt, so he should have started more aggressively. Now, key factors, most of them we have already discussed. It was a bad start to the match by Djokovic. Nadal was aggressive. Djokovic's comeback was amazing. I thought the match should have gone to the fifth set. Djokovic was playing well, but he failed to capitalize on the big opportunities, and that is what he said in his press conference also. And amazing fitness levels displayed by Rafa. I really feel that Rafa, having watched this match against Felix, where he had already spent 4 hours on the court. Still, he was again able to spend 4 hours against Djokovic. That was amazing, given the fact that he was not feeling well prior to the tournament and he had to pull out of a lot of tournaments. So full credit to Nadal here. And also, one more key factor was the crowd support. Now Djokovic doesn't say that often, that he's bothered by the crowd, and he tries to focus on his match, on his points. He is mentally very strong, but this is something that does affect a player when the whole crowd is almost against you in every match. And that is something which I really feel that was against Djokovic, and that was not justified. Djokovic also deserves support from the fans, support from the crowd. But here, I think, on for the majority of the match, I feel that the crowd was mostly on Nadal's side. Now, there is nothing wrong in that, but when you see it in all the tournaments, and having comparing that with what achievements Djokovic has, I mean, he's the number one player in the world. He might be the greatest player of all time. He has won so many matches. Even then, when he plays against Nadal or Djokovic, almost every time he is the second best for the crowd. And I think it did play a part, because you just feel like if in the fourth set the crowd would have completely been in Djokovic's favor, maybe he would have gone, able to hit the finish line and gone to the fifth set. But I think the crowd always favors uh, the other players. I mean, the other players could be anyone, but I still feel that it does affect Djokovic in a way. So these were the key factors, and there are a few key takeaways and questions also. I still feel that there are some parts of the game for Djokovic that he has to really work hard on, like his overhead volleys and serve. That is still lacking edge. I still think that he has to have some more matches under his belt, because if he has to win Wimbledon, I think he needs to be really sharp, and he has to focus on this part of the game. Nadal, I think, is more vulnerable than ever. He always has those letdowns in between matches for 3 or 4 games when the opponent should take advantage, but it doesn't happen. I'm not sure if anyone would be able to take advantage of this vulnerability, because even in the Australian Open 2022, I think Medvedev almost had won the match, almost had won the tournament. He had triple break points in the third set. I'm not sure how Medvedev let go of that opportunity. Maybe he was bothered by the crowd or whatever. But Nadal, we all know, even if you give him one or two good points, he can come back. And that is where I feel that the other players lack. They are not able to take advantage. And that is why, just like that, if you see, right, for the past tournament, at the Australian Open and this tournament, both tournaments, one felt that Nadal might not be able to win. He was looking down and out. But if he's able to win in this tournament, there would be two Grand Slams. Like, that's a huge number, two Grand Slams where it looked like he would not be able to win, but somehow he managed to win it, and that results in his 22 Grand Slam number. So all these small victories, all these small adjustments, the hard work that he puts, the times he has to come back from deficits, all this has resulted in this 22, which is a huge number. And I think if he gets to 22 Grand Slams, it would be really hard for anyone to get over 22 Grand Slam titles, and I think he could finish up with the most number of Grand Slam titles. So this was the video, guys. Thanks for watching.